So Alex Young is a longtime listener to Secular Talk. He's always been a loyal viewer and friend, and he contacted me last week and shared something that just totally broke me because it really exposes just how screwed up our healthcare system is. And I'm sure everybody knows somebody who went through something similar to this because it affects everybody. Our broken healthcare system affects everybody in this country. Everybody knows my story and my dad's story about how, my dad, he didn't have insurance and he was feeling back pain, extreme back pain, and he kept going to a chiropractor who kept telling him, oh, come back here, we'll fix it. Turns out that the night he was rushed to the emergency room is the night he learned, dude, that was cancer that had metastasized to your back. It metastasized from your lungs to your back. And he had stage 4 cancer, lung cancer, and that's what the back pain was. And he went to somebody who's a chiropractor who, as everybody's heard me talk about before, they are what they are. I would say they're like glorified massage therapists. And if you go to them knowing that, totally fine. But if you go to the ones who go to the extreme end of the spectrum and they believe in the vertebral subluxation theory, which is that, if I just crack your back and align your spine right, then all your diseases will be taken care of. They're snake oil salesmen and they're bullshitters. But my dad not having insurance, going to a chiropractor thinking he was going to like a real doctor. I mean, if we had a system where everybody was covered, he could have just went to the doctor right away and not gone to a goofy-ass chiropractor. And when he went to the doctor, maybe it would have been stage 2 cancer, and maybe he would have survived. I don't know. But this is the thing about our healthcare system. It's totally broken. Now, you could say, hey, my dad also wasn't the smartest dude in the world to do what he did. Fair enough. But it is also the case that he is considered in that, 30 to 45,000 Americans that die every year because they don't have access to basic healthcare. That's my dad. So, but there's a lot of stories like this. It's not just me. Everybody's been touched by it in one way or another. And this is one of those stories right here. So I want to tell you about that. So Alex has a friend by the name of Megan Nicole. And look at what's happening to her. She explains here. She says, I've been experiencing the worst chronic pain for the past 2 years now. I had an incident where I fell and hit my face pretty hard. I have literally been in pain every single day since the injury happened. No exaggeration. The pain is constantly in my jaw and travels to my sinuses, head, neck, shoulders, upper back, and even eyes. The pain affects every aspect of my sleeping and waking life. I've seen every kind of doctor I can think to see. Chiropractors, dentists, ear, nose, and throat doctors, neurologists, eye doctors, massage therapists, oral surgeons. I've been diagnosed with chronic TMJ, which only keeps getting worse and worse. It's gotten to the point where it hurts too bad to smile, laugh, or talk. It is also extremely hard to get through shifts at work. I've had 2 surgeries, a ton of dental work done, my teeth shaven down, and prescribed a ridiculous amount of different medications. I found out that I've been living with a deviated septum. My septum has collapsed and is causing almost complete airflow blockage. I also have a golf ball-sized cyst in my right nasal cavity, causing a tremendous amount of discomfort. It is greatly affecting my capability or capacity of having a normal life. I have decided to do the surgery without anesthesia in order to drop the price from $11,000 down to $5,927. I'm hoping that by a few acts of kindness, I can get this surgery done and feel at least somewhat normal again. So she can't afford the surgery. She can't even afford the surgery without the anesthesia. Our system's so bad, and she's so screwed that she's like, hey, listen, I'll get it done without the anesthesia. I just have to get it done. So in other words, she's saying, I will sign up to go through an excruciatingly painful surgery because the pain I'm feeling right now is so bad that even with the excruciatingly painful surgery, maybe I'll get some relief after. So I'll do it, and I'll do it without the anesthesia. I'll do anything I can because I have to stop this. This is the system we have. This is how people struggle in the system. In what world does it make sense to spend $7 trillion on an offensive war against a country that didn't attack us? And we don't have money to spare for somebody like this who has a serious health problem? This is why GoFundMe has become like one of the top things GoFundMe is used for, the top thing, I believe, is medical emergencies and medical bills. Because people can't pay for their medical care. And that's exactly what we're looking at here. I mean, to live with like a chronic problem is bad enough. It's bad. It's terrible. To live with a chronic problem and then not be able to afford a surgery for it, and then not even be able to afford a surgery without anesthesia, this is a failed system. This is a failed system because she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. The people who are victims of the system didn't do anything wrong at all. Our healthcare system is the problem. The pharmaceutical companies are the problem. The health insurance companies are the problem. Our government is the problem. It's all corrupt. And it's all broken. And it's all terrible. So, she is doing a fundraiser. I believe she's trying to hit that. Originally, it was the $5,900 for the surgery without the anesthesia. She wasn't able to get anywhere near that. So she dropped it to $2,200, and then she was going to try to raise the money elsewhere to get the surgery done without the anesthesia. See how crazy this is? So anyway, I'm going to leave the link in the video description box, and if you can, give $2, give $5, give $10, give whatever you can, because not only do I want her to get the surgery, I want her to get the surgery and be able to afford the anesthesia. So even though she's asking for now, it's $2,200. Let's see if we can get her to that $11,000 number, because this is just totally heartbreaking. It's bad enough to deal with a chronic problem. Then to deal with the chronic problem and have no anesthesia and get the surgery without anesthesia, that's really bad too. So at the very least, let's get the anesthesia and the surgery done. And again, this is Megan Nicole. The link is in the video description box. And if you can help out, please help out. You know, it's always a weird situation for me covering these kinds of stories because I'm one person. And I'm a news and politics show. So I have a lot of stuff I have to talk about every time there's a show. And the crazy thing and the sad thing about how broken our healthcare system is it would be possible for me to do every single show where I do nothing but tell you about a disaster for somebody in our healthcare system, where they need money, they need funding, they need to get a surgery covered, they need help, they need to pay for their medication, they can't afford their medication. And of course, we can't fix the whole system on our own. Like, what are we going to do? If we had every progressive show do nothing but all these healthcare horror stories nonstop, even that's not enough to even make a little dent, drop in the bucket. And it's devastating. So what we really need is systemic change. What we really need is to march on Washington, get 1 million people out there and say, Medicare for all, or get the fuck out of our way, or we're going to kick you out of office. I mean, that's what's really needed. But if you can find it, if you do have just a couple spare dollars to help her out, that would be wonderful. Again, link in the video description box. And I wish her the best.